Hi everyone, Dead Battery here, and thank you for joining me on my channel. Today's video is going to be a repair on something one of my friends gave me. One of my coworkers, Mr. Higa, brought me a bunch of things to fix, and one of them happened to be a car camera. I know they'll have backup cameras in the mirror, so when you put the car in reverse, you get a camera that shows up. Here in Japan, it's a lot more popular to get a bigger mirror, put it over top the existing one, and then you run cords through the car and hook it to a back camera. So almost all cars here in Japan have some type of camera on them that records the front and the back, so if anything does happen, they can look back on it. So Mr. Higa brought me one that his son had bought for him, and it just stopped working. It was something that I wasn't too sure if I could fix, but I was excited to give it a try. So let's see what this car visor camera looks like, and then let's see if we can actually fix it. Here's the car camera. And this is the back of it. You can see the camera, and this company is called NeoTokyo. And from my understanding, it's the back camera that's not working. I pulled down my power adapter to see if I had a plug for this, and I did not. It takes one of the older plugs. I do not know how this comes apart, so I peeled off the back rubber cover, and there were screws underneath, so I figured this is maybe how it was all put together. But after taking one off, it just removed the hook that helps secure it to the mirror, so I don't think that this is the way. So I decide to get out a pry tool, but it is very tight. So I have these plastic razors, and I just ran it across, and it popped all the plastic pieces open so that I was able to get inside of it. And this is what it looks like. At the moment, there's two ribbons that attach the top part to the bottom part. And once I peel the tape that's securing it down, I'm able to take it apart. I just wanted to have a look at it and see if there was anything obvious with the camera on the back that points front when you're driving. And I didn't see anything, so I'm gonna put it back together, turn it on, and see if I can get it working. Maybe just readjusting the ribbons worked. You can see that it's black, and it's not because I have it down. And I can definitely see stuff on the screen, including old videos, which means it's working. It's just not getting any video from that camera, and I'm not too sure why yet. So I will remove the top from it again, and I'm going to have a closer look at this camera. I'm just kind of readjusting the ribbon. Something doesn't feel quite right, but I can't figure it out yet. I decided to flip the ribbon around to see maybe if something had happened with one part of the ribbon, but it looks really good. So after the flip, I'm gonna re-plug it in, have a look, and the same thing. I'm not getting anything on the screen. I'm getting everything else, including sound, but nothing else. So I'll turn it off again, I'll unhook the ribbons, and while I'm taking everything back apart, I noticed that the camera ribbon doesn't seem as secure as the other ones. Like, it doesn't feel like the black piece is pushing down like it should. And upon further investigation, I could see that there were definitely pieces missing on it. So I remove it, and as you can see here, half of it is missing all the little holes that attach to it, which will hold the ribbon down. So now I have no way to connect it because there's no way to put any pressure down on it. So I have to decide what I can do. At this point, there were two options. So I went to work the next day and I asked Mr. Higa what option he wanted to go with. So my first option was to buy another one of these parts, take the old one off and solder the new one down, or I could just solder the ribbon down to the motherboard and it would just end up being permanent. And he decided that he wanted the ribbon soldered down versus buying the part, since we weren't too sure where we would get one in the first place or how long it would take. So now it's the next day and I can go through, remove the motherboard completely. And there are two plates on either side, but they're just kind of pressured in. They're not soldered down, and I'm glad for that. Basically, I can melt this plastic off and get all the feet off, but I am going to trim as much of the plastic as I can first. And then I'm just gonna get my solder iron. I'm gonna heat up the plastic and the legs and just kind of push it off. And now I'm just gonna put some more solder down. And unfortunately, I apologize, I did not hook up the new camera to my fancy microscope. So I just have my old school microscope. So you won't be able to see it as well, but I basically put solder on each of the ribbon legs and I just have my tweezers. I'm just going through and soldering down each of the legs, and I am giving it a look over to make sure that it looks secure. But everything looks good. So at this point, I'm going to gently put it back together because I have nothing securing that ribbon down. If I get it to work, I can put down a solder mask. I get all the ribbons hooked up, I plug it in, and I turn it on and I'm like, oh no, I got static. Except I realize it's because it's pushed against my mat. And now you can see my pants and my hand, and the camera's working, which I'm really excited that that worked. I was pretty confident I could get it to work. However, it's such a small area, I was worried something would happen. Now that I know it works, I'm gonna put down some of this solder mask and use the UV light I have so that it can harden. I did feel like it was kind of far away and I couldn't make this any lower, so I ended up moving it and supporting it up a little higher so that the light was closer. I don't know if that makes a difference, but it worked for me. Now that the mask is solid, I can put the 2 metal plates back on. I can plug the camera cord back in, get everything screwed back down. The motherboard was only held down by 3 screws, and then the camera was held down with 4 screws, and you will not get those messed up because they're 2 different sizes and 2 different colors. And now that it's all back together, we'll give it one final test. And you can kind of see the screen and it turns on. I'm just going through now because I unplugged it and I'm going to reset the date for him. But here is the working camera. Not gonna lie, I am ecstatic that that worked. I think my skill is up there, but sometimes with these smaller areas, I just don't think I have the stability to get it correct. I actually felt more comfortable with soldering down the ribbon than I did to actually find the part and solder that down. But after I removed it, I realized that it was only the legs that stuck out that held it down. I have tried to remove a switch charge port before, and it's got the double layer of pads, and no matter what I do or how many videos I watch, because nobody really specifies on the temperature they use, I can never get it off. It never falls off like I see in some other people's videos. Like they heat it up and it falls out and they replace it, and I have no clue how they do it. I haven't been able to, and I always rip up a trace that I can't do anything with. So I was a little worried about this one because I didn't know if my skills would be good enough to put the new component on, but once I saw that it was pretty basic, I wasn't too worried. I still felt that putting the ribbon on it was the easier step for me. In the end, it works. I'm really excited about it. He has to come pick it up tomorrow at work. I'm hoping that it works in the long run. I'm not sure if this is going to be a long time fix. If it doesn't hold, I can definitely remove the solder mask and remove the ribbon and just buy the component, buy a new ribbon, and put it all back together. I'm just really surprised that I got it to work. And I know I shouldn't be at this stage with some stuff, but the area was so small. I used like my smallest pair of tweezers, and I was in the microscope, which I absolutely love using my microscope for this stuff. So I think this just goes to show anybody who is trying any new techniques in soldering or trying to fix something they've never fixed before, take your time, take a deep breath, and give it a go. I know that it's bad that something's broken, but it's already broken. So if it can't be fixed, it's still broken, I guess. I want to say you can't break it anymore, but I know you can because I've definitely done it. As always, thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.